Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I am here once again with Eric from Sage News. Sage News is on YouTube. If you haven't checked him out, he's a trucking and logistics expert. He owns his own shipping management company. Eric, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Going great. So today we're going to be covering a story about some people in the news like to sensationalize things. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. Have you seen that, Eric?
Yeah, sometimes some stories can be blown out of proportion, or the numbers that they're using might be not from the closest numbers they should be using for the data most to best represent the time we're in now.
Exactly. And a lot of times we bring you information because we try and show you things that people need to really be aware of, things that can affect your everyday life, not immediately, but that trickle down effect, that time it takes to get the real information to you guys, but then also the actual outcome, right? So we try and bring you those news stories. But today there's something about the truck drivers out of Canada having to be vaccinated, and a lot of media outlets are trying to sensationalize it. But Eric, it doesn't sound like it's going to be that bad, is it?
No, and let me I'm going to grab screen real quick here, honest. And I basically found a couple articles. So the first article I kind of pulled was out of the Gateway Pundit, and he basically uses 2019 numbers and shows that about 718 billion in 2019 kind of went back and forth from Canada to the US. Exports were about 360 billion and 358 billion on imports. Well, the 2019 numbers were high because we were basically in a different situation. Let's put it that way.
Everything was normal back then, right?
Correct. When they actually used it, it was probably 2018 numbers, and they used it for 2019 and so on and so on. So we weren't exactly in a situation that we were in now. So how this basically works is when you're a Canadian driver, you can go from Canada to the US, drop off your load, pick up another load, and go right back. And the same thing happens with a US driver. You have to go right to Canada, unload, pick up a load, and come right back, or deadhead back, either way. So obviously we do more going up into Canada than Canada delivers to us. But in regards to how much we actually do, I pulled 2020's numbers, and they're a little bit different because of again, I'll use the word situation. So it's about 270 billion total compared to the 700 billion that he was using. So it's quite less than the numbers, just because of the amount of goods that were going back and forth by truck. And we're also, of course, using rail and using other means. So worldwide, they're basically saying about 17% of the U.S. goes into Canada, and about 11% of the total trade comes from Canada to us. And like I said, I have no problem putting these links on my community page so somebody can shoot over there and grab them.
Yeah. And you know what, while you're saying that, yes, definitely. I'm going to put a link to one of Sage's articles. Or actually, I wonder if I could put one to your community page from this directly to it.
Absolutely.
Yes. So then, Eric, you send me that, and I'm going to paste that into this video, into the comment section or the description, because I want you guys to follow Eric, because Eric has one of these channels that I want to keep blowing up, because I think his information is so vital, so crucial. And that's what Ninja Nation is all about. Okay. So now you were also going to go over some percentages, correct?
Yeah. So then I just pulled another article, and this one's from yesterday, and they basically says that they're resisting pressure, and they're still sticking to the have to have the jab to go over the border. But the numbers that it actually affects, a lot of Canadian drivers have already gotten that, jab, and basically, or logistics companies have found other ways to get the freight across. So basically right here, it says it could force some 16,000 or 10% of the cross-border drivers off the road. And the Canadian Trucking Alliance estimates that the government's estimate of 5% of drivers would impact, according to the government. So you're looking at about 5 to 10% possibly. Even if you go on the high side, just because the actual effect of it is that they can't stop a Canadian driver from coming back to his own country. All they can do is have him cross, and if doesn't have the shot, he'll have to go and quarantine for 14 days. But the trailer itself can be dropped, and somebody else can hook to it and still deliver it. Yeah. So a lot of things that they're probably going to do is, if they do have a driver, they'll send him over, he'll come back over, he'll drop his trailer, and he might go and quarantine, but somebody else is going to grab that load. Yeah. So although it sounds like it's a bad situation, their logistical companies look for ways to work around situations like that. It's our job. And this is one that it doesn't, unless something else breaks loose, which I'm unaware of, it doesn't sound like it's going to be as dire as they're kind of making it out to be with empty shelves and everything else. At least this won't cause it.
And that's the good news about all this. Wanted to close with this is, sometimes there's a little it's over centralized, what's the right word?
You know what? Yellow journalism. Let's do that. Makes my life easier.
Sometimes they make it bigger than it is, guys.
Yeah.
And we want to bring you that. And like Eric said, if something else breaks, we're going to be the first ones to bring it to you. So with that being said, hit the like button and subscribe, and we appreciate that. But that's the thing is some things are bigger than they're meant. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you don't edit, Eric. You guys know what I mean. And so we want to bring you guys a little bit of good news, because right now there has been crazy supply chain issues. And at least in this situation, we don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
Right. I think it's something that logistics companies can see coming. They can be proactive, and you can work around something like this for the amount of drivers that it's going to affect.
Yeah, totally. Well, hey, with that being said, guys, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja and Eric from Sage News are out.